Hi, this is Peter from SEMPAD, the ad tool for agencies. Today we're going to look at how to set a custom ad schedule for your campaign. Now if we click into a campaign and then settings, you can see under the ad schedule tab, it will show a schedule of when your ads show, and you can set adjustments to either bid more or less based on that time of day. I'll go into a campaign which doesn't yet have a schedule, so we can create one. If you click the little Add Schedule button here, and then Create Custom Schedule, it allows you to add either a day of the week or a time, and you can create your own schedule here, which once we click Save will be applied below. Now, some things to take into consideration are when your ideal customer would be looking. Let's say that you are a moving company and perhaps you've found that clients who contact you very early in the morning between 12 a.m. and let's say 3 a.m. are not really the type of people that you want to deal with necessarily. So you want to exclude people from that time, or perhaps, let's do in this case, you want to bid less for that person's view. Now, if you want to have your ad shown at all times, it's important to ensure that you have all of your times covered. So we go from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. and then we want to go from 3 a.m. to 7 p.m., let's say. And the reason you want to have full-time coverage is because if you have a time in here which is not covered, let's say for instance we change this to be 7 a.m., then from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. your ads will not appear. And that's just based on this custom schedule. If you never added any schedule, your ads would be shown at all times of the day. But as soon as you add a custom schedule, you're now telling Google that you only want to appear when this schedule is relevant. So let's keep this as it is for just for the sake of curiosity. So we won't have our ads appear from 3 a.m. until 7 a.m. And then let's say we want to go from 7 a.m. When some people will be starting work, but you don't want to be targeting them over their lunch break. So let's stop at 12 p.m. and we will start up again at 1 p.m. So from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. the ads will also not be shown. Now, there are some different schools of thought on this. Personally, I like to have essentially all times of day considered, unless it's, say, a business-to-business type product and you don't want to appear outside of business hours. So in this case here, we will change this to be 12 p.m. and instead what we are going to do is we're going to set a bid adjustment just during this lunch hour so that we can bid a different amount for those people. And then that runs until the end of day. Now, I'm going to do this for all days just for the sake of simplicity, but if you really want to get complicated, you could set up a different time schedule for each day of the week. So now that we have this basic schedule created, I'm going to click Save, and you will see Google will now populate all of those times below. And it creates this nice little schedule up top where you can actually see what time segments you have blocked off. As mentioned earlier, since we had nothing for 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., that time is just blank, and Google will not show your ads during that time unless you add in a new ad schedule to accommodate that. Now, when you get down a little lower, you can see that you can actually set bid adjustments for each time. As I mentioned earlier, let's say it's a moving company, and from midnight until 3 a.m., you're really attracting the type of people that you necessarily do not want to deal with. So we can set a negative adjustment on that. Let's say we want to decrease the bids by 50%. And what Google will do is it will look at what you are bidding as a maxed cost per click for the keyword. And then whichever keyword actually triggered the search, Google will multiply that max cost per click bid by minus 50% to adjust the bid. That's basically in a nutshell how it works. And you can go through and set different bid adjustments for each time of day. Let's say that perhaps from noon until 1 p.m., you're a cosmetic clinic. And, when people are on their lunch hour, you find that they're on their mobile phones, they're doing a lot of searching for treatments, and it's a very busy time for you and it's very profitable. So you may want to increase your bid. So unlike the 50% decrease, here Google will increase your max cost per click bids by 30%. And you can go through and set all of these. Now, you can always set these sort of basic things based on assumptions or hunches that you may have initially. What is very key, though, as an ad manager, you want to maintain control and you want to be making data-driven decisions. So over time, you will be able to look at the schedule. You'll be able to see how each time segment actually performs for you, and then you can adjust your bids accordingly. So if you have, let's say you're tracking conversions and you have a very low conversion cost between 7 a.m. and noon, then you may want to increase your bid a bit so that you have some more exposure and can get more of those inexpensive conversions. And vice versa, obviously, if you have a high conversion cost. I hope this video has helped. If you're interested in more online advertising tips and tricks, please subscribe or feel free to ask any questions in the comments section. If you happen to manage online ads for an agency or as a freelancer, I strongly recommend you have a look at Sempad.com. It's an ad reporting and optimization platform for Google, Bing, Facebook, and more, with dashboards, bidding algorithms, weekly suggestions, and other tools to make your life easier. Visit Sempad.com for a free trial and start saving time today.